Hello everyone and welcome to Metro Matters. I'm Mary Sitt. Metro serves a huge area that extends beyond Harris County. In fact, our network of routes and park and ride lots covers a vast area of about 1,200 square miles. So how does Metro keep this system safe? The Metro Police Department is using a variety of tools from high-tech to low-tech, four-legged furry animals. Here's Chief Tom Lambert to tell us more. Tom Lambert is Senior Vice President and Chief of Police of Metro's Department of Public Safety. At Metro since 1979, Chief Lambert helped create the MPD, and today it is only one of 5 accredited transit police agencies in the nation. Tom, thanks for being with us.
Mary, thanks for having me.
Let's talk about bus accidents first. We're still having accidents with buses. How are you trying to minimize that?
Well, we're still having accidents because we operate in, as you say, a very vast area. But our accidents are coming down. Our preventable accidents keep coming down. But we're also beginning to look and work with other partners, with Houston-Galveston Area Council, who has got a very large traffic safety initiative. And so we're mapping where we're having bus accidents compared to where other automobile drivers are having accidents to begin to focus on hotspot areas. And then collectively, what can we do with working with other partners that can focus on those high accident locations from an engineering standpoint, from an education standpoint, and from an enforcement standpoint if necessary.
That's how when you say hotspot locations, you're talking about locations that are where there are tree limbs hanging over so they block certain things, or
well,
certain signs
it could be an area
or...
where it could be where there's a need to look at additional traffic signage. It could be an area where the geometry of the roadway may need to be fine-tuned a bit. It could be an area where there's more speed involved. If you look at the reality of accidents, we have a lot of our accidents where people run into the back of a bus.
Now, if a driver hits the back of a bus, that's the driver's fault?
Well,
that's still counted as a preventable accident or not?
It's not counted as a preventable accident on the part of the bus operator, but Metro tracks every accident, whether it's preventable or non-preventable. We also track where it's a passenger slip on a bus. We want to know exactly what's happening on the system, and based upon that information, then implement strategies that can help us bring those numbers down. Since about 2007, when we hired a bunch of new operators and we knew those numbers would go up, we've seen about a 40% reduction in preventable accidents, both on bus and on rail.
What about rail accidents?
Rail accidents, again, going back to 2004 to what we saw last year, are continuing being down about 40%. But again, we think that the driving public's getting more comfortable with rail in that operating environment. The rail operators are doing a very good job in making it safe. Our engineering staff has looked at how we can look at additional engineering steps, whether it's signage or how we adjust traffic signal timing.
Well, we've put little red lights around traffic
LED lights, the in-pavement lighting,
right.
All those things are engineering steps that we've taken that helps us improve safety.
I understand we're getting new radios on the buses. Tell me about that.
We are putting new radios on all of our buses, as well as the bus operators will have handheld radios, and also not just bus operators, but police officers, Metrolift operators, our rail operators, and it's all being tied to the Harris County Regional Radio System. That allows us to have interoperable communications with agencies throughout an 8-county region. It's about 212 agencies today that operate off the Harris County Regional Radio System. And then interoperable communications allows us to communicate with any other agency on that system. We need to communicate, whether it's day-to-day operations, emergency operations, hurricanes, and that's really a tremendous benefit to allow us to better serve this region during day-to-day operations as well as during emergency operations.
Right now, who can we communicate with? Who do the drivers communicate with?
Well, right now, the bus system is on a separate private system that Metro has.
So in real life, how would this work if a bus driver is now able to communicate with different agencies? You said 212 are on.
Well, what we would do is the operator is still going to communicate with their controllers at Transtar, with the bus controllers. As if there's a need for someone to communicate with the operator, we'll be able to do it, but it's got to be managed through the control system.
Is this real high-tech stuff, or is it basic?
No, it's not. It is high-tech, where you're going from an old analog system to a digital system, which allows you to get more use out of the infrastructure for the radio system. But it's been commonplace in public safety agencies for a long time. Metro is now building into the county system. That's a very robust system that allows us a greater coverage than what we have today.
Your officers have been giving out report cards to drivers at the park and ride lots. Tell me how that is cutting down crime.
Well, we believe that in order to really have a safe system, you have to engage our customers and you have to engage the general public, and clearly you have to engage our frontline employees. They know the system probably better than anybody. From the customer standpoint, we want to make sure that they're doing all the preventive things they can do to prevent someone from having an opportunity and a desire to break in their cars. So we have what we call a theft reduction strategy, and it's a report card. Officers will go to park and ride lots and they'll inspect cars. And if there are things that they observe that may entice someone to break into the car, or the car is not secured, we'll leave a report card with a suggestion that the customer can take to improve the prevention of crimes that could happen.
So they actually get a plus if they lock their cars and hide their packages?
They'll get a plus if they do all those things. They'll get a plus if you cannot see a CD desk player, or a GPS tracking device, or briefcases or packages left exposed inside the car.
Have you seen a direct correlation of the drop in crime with the...
Well, we think that it's a lot of things. I think the reduction campaign has a part of it. We think it's a combination of things, and overall, we're seeing incidents on the park and ride lots coming down.
Do you have
So
any
a
stats on that?
systems approach. Well, if you go back to about 2005 when we started transitioning to more technology at park and ride lots, we've seen about a 50% reduction in Part 1 crimes reported on the lots since about 2005.
And what is a Part 1 crime?
Part 1 crime is what's universally tracked by the FBI and the Federal Transit Administration. It's homicide, sexual assault, arson, auto theft, burglary of a habitation, and arson. That's the major crimes that they track.
Like bad stuff.
Bad stuff.
There's been some criticism in the press that not all the cameras work on the park and ride lots. Can you tell me about that situation?
Well, we have about 400 cameras every day in operation. And we do have cameras occasionally that are out. I think the last report I saw, we have about 2 cameras a day that are out. Now, we have a major initiative we're going forward with to upgrade all the cameras and to expand some of the cameras. So we've learned a lot of lessons from our history of using technology.
And Tom, you do regular maintenance on these cameras too, right?
Well, we do have a contract in place where we do a break fix. So as they break, we make sure. But we're changing our dynamics, and you'll see some actions in the near future where camera technology has gotten so advanced that you'll basically see a plug and play. As a camera goes down, we'll put a new camera in.
Now the cameras are so good they can actually capture the license plate number. When you say enhance the cameras,
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
they're going to be able to see
It'll
more?
give us better quality of what we're observing and the movements and the vehicles and descriptions and license plates.
We need to take a little break right now, but stay with us. We'll find out what MPD is doing to combat terrorism on the move. Stay with us.
Your destination, your imagination. Join the iRide movement. Visit ridemetro.org and get on board.
Morning, Bob.
Good morning.
Hey, Abuelita. Hey, kids.
Beautiful day, isn't it? But wait, where's Lucille?
She still thinks driving to the zoo is faster than taking Metro Rail.
Forget about it. We told her Metro Rail is the fastest way to get to work without worrying about traffic or parking.
She is a bit flighty.
Avoid the stampede. Take Metro Rail to the Houston Zoo.
We're back with Chief Tom Lambert of the Metro's Department of Public Safety. Tom, tell me, what is MPD doing about terrorism now?
We have partnered with both local, state, regional, and federal agencies. We have an officer that's assigned full-time to the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force to make sure we're getting all relevant information so we can appropriately respond. We also have an officer assigned full-time to the Fusion Center here locally.
Fusion Center?
Fusion Center
What is
is a
that?
partnership with the Houston Police Department, the Harris County Sheriff's Department, Texas Department of Public Safety, and also the Department of Homeland Security has representatives there. We also have an officer there. Our whole thrust is making sure we have as much information as we can get to know what's happening not only domestically but internationally.
So do you follow the chatter, with...
Well, we don't follow per se. We get a lot of reports, and we have folks that analyze the reports, and they give us relevant information about what may be happening. We also are members of The Transportation Security Administration Mass Transit Division has what they call a peer advisory group. I have the opportunity to chair of that group. It's a representative of about 15 transit police chiefs, security directors across the country. We have monthly conference calls to make sure that we keep our information sharing going. And if there is a need to bring that group together, we can bring it together in a very quick time to talk about specific issues.
Now, MPD has a special force just for anti-terrorism, is that
Yeah,
right?
we actually created again from Department of Homeland Security funding, 100% funding. We have 10 officers that are assigned to an anti-terrorism team. They're focused on making sure that we understand what has been happening internationally, what has been happening domestically, and that they go through specific training that helps them understand what we ought to be looking for and how we're prepared to respond to anything that may happen on the system. But they're one part of a broader team. We also have our SORT team, as you know, our Special Operations Response team. They're prepared to respond tactically that anything may happen on the system. We have 8 canines on our system, 5 of which are explosive trained. So anything that happens
means they can detect bombs,
yeah,
right?
and so if it's a suspicious package on the system, we take that very seriously. And again, our customers, if you see something, say something. Our operators, if you see something, say something.
Can you really protect against one lone crazy gunman or some guy who wants to plant a bomb?
I think transit has a challenge with that. We're a very open system. That's the way we're designed. We operate in a democracy where we expect people to have freedom of access and freedom of movement. We will do the best we can.
Now, there's something very simple that all of us can do to make our neighborhoods safer around bus stops, and that's adopt a stop, adopt a shelter. Can you tell me about that?
Well, we believe very fundamentally transit is like a neighborhood. If you keep it clean, if it's well organized, if people buy in and have a commitment for it, you're going to have a clean system, you're going to have a safe system. The Adopt a Shelter program, we've got about 900 shelters adopted today. About 163 members of our community have volunteered, whether it be individuals or corporations, to adopt those stops to make them safer. They are eyes and ears. They beautify them. They keep them clean. They let us know when things are out of place.
Does
And we
Metro
believe
supply trash bags?
We supply trash bags. We will make sure that we're responsive to anything that goes on at the shelter that we need to be responsive to. We'll clean the shelters and their cleaning schedules.
And we plant
but
the
the main
flowers.
thrust is they plant the flowers.
The flowers, okay, the volunteers
They
plant the
it.
flowers. Okay,
and there are
good.
some beautiful shelters out there. But again, if you look at it from the basic premise, Metro does not own these shelters. The shelters belong to the community.
Metro Police Department recently was recognized and accredited. Tell me about this.
We have just completed the reaccreditation process that captures us 2007 through 2009. So we're very pleased with that. At the same time, we got what was known as flagship recognition. That shows the outstanding commitment that our employees have had to meet those national standards. And the quality of their commitment, it's now embodied as a part of our culture. We expect to meet those standards.
Tom, what does it mean to the average consumer who hops on the bus or the train to have an accredited
They're going
police
to get a
force?
standard performance that's a commitment to the best of practices and best of standards in public safety. They've got a commitment on the part of the employees that deliver that service that they not only expect to meet those standards, it's part of their culture to meet those standards, and we're going to make sure that we do all that we can do to ensure that they've got a safe and secure ride when they're using the Metro system.
So we're going to get smarter, better officers?
Well, I think
Who
we've
will
always
smile
had
when they give us a ticket?
I think we've had smart officers. We've had good officers. But it's continued to show their commitment to be the best in following best practices and following national standards. They're committed to continue to do that and constantly learn, constantly involve, and that's what these national standards are.
So we can all feel a little safer then.
Safer, and understand that we are going to make sure that we're committed to delivering quality public safety services to our customers and to the community.
Very good. Thank you so much for being with us, Tom.
Thank you, Mary.
That's all for this edition of Metro Matters. Until next time, stay in touch, read our blog at ridemetro.org, fan us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter. I'm Mary Sitt. Thanks for watching.